So I had to finish the previous video because there were some disturbances. Now what I am saying is that I arrived to Korea with Andrea Good, and there were actually we didn't know what to do because Khenpo Sonam Gyurme was not so much into working. He was very much into chatting and drinking tea with biscuits, which is a good thing when you do this in Europe with friends. But I came to Korea to work, to do something, to serve, and there were plans to translate the Ram Bomjon's Maha prayer as soon as possible, because there was a plan to make a big blessing program with it. So I just finished from an American company in Prague, so I had this work attitude, very working hard attitude, and it was crashing with this Nepali relax lifestyle. And it was somewhere in the middle. She also enjoyed the chats with biscuits with Khenpo, 2-3 hours long, about Guruji, of course, because she is like a dreamy person. She likes to dream about things which not necessarily are true. But I was really impatient. I wanted to work. So when I saw that it's just not going to work, then after certain clearing up of why I am there and why is she there and like this, I realized that she's not a person who wished to cooperate with me. It was kind of clear that she wants to take on the Mahapranithana translations alone, because she was convinced that certain sentences, certain words must be interpreted as this, and there is no question about that. So how to work together with someone like she, who doesn't have experience in deep meditations like me, like I had. Neither she didn't have any experience with reading, studying yogic books like I had. So it was we were very different in this background. We were same in our idealism and loved respect to the Dharma Sangha, but that was apparently not enough strong so that we can work together. As soon as she felt in danger from me, that I would take over the kind of imagined authority due to my knowledge and skills, which even Khenpo Sonam Gyurme realized that I have some knowledge and I have some experience in meditation. Andrea was scared that I would be eventually more respected or something, like she was. It's ridiculous for me, but even the idea that such human stuff is making obstacles of friendships around a guru, it's kind of disappointing. But I was already there. I already gave up my job. I already gave up my relationship, every connection, every tie in Europe, and I already programmed myself to meditate and to do spiritual work, translation and meditation. So the translation part was very quickly not working out due to Andy's presence, and then I was bored actually. So what to do in jungle in Nepal, where there is a guru who is all the time meditating? Of course, I also started to meditate. I returned to my own yoga meditational techniques, because it is needed to know that Dharma Sangha didn't provide any technique until now for people to meditate. He provides only speeches or only blessing programs where he was touching the heads of people, and that's it. There was no teaching, which many local foreigners really missed. There was Marīci, there was Nick Sherman. Actually, a little later, Ivy Juga arrived. Kim, Korean American Kim arrived. Veronique. There was nothing, no practice, just meetings maybe once a 2-week time. We had this blessing program. We called them Astashil. It means we were vowing the 8 precepts. You know these 8 precepts? It's basically similar to the Buddhist precepts: not stealing, not killing, not lying. It's fine. We vowed, but in reality, no one was keeping anything of that. Especially Dharma Sangha's own nearest people. I was still on Google group, but the main reporter was Andy Good that time. And so Andy also had big fights with them because she had her idea to establish like a working ashram there with a generator which would not be noisy, or solar power, and I think computers, and there were some plans, ecology. They were nice ideas to implement, but the Nepali people didn't see business in all this, so I think I don't want to harm them by this, because there are many nice Nepali people around Guru also. But those who were that time the committees, they didn't show any real interest to improve the conditions around Dharma Sangha. But I left it for Andy because she was very jealous of any kind of reward coming from her great work for the Sangha. Okay, I keep it for yourself. I went to meditate. There, everyone knows there is this dry riverbed. Parrot. There is this dry riverbed. It's Pasakola, it's called, from one end, and the northern end it's called Shaktikola. It's like a desert, like a savanna. It has this kind of dry environment, and there I could be totally alone, not disturbed by the noisy llamas and the chatting and biscuit eating with Kempo and Andy. Not that I don't like biscuits, but it was just too much due to the fact that that was a supposedly holy place, and we had supposedly a chance to be near to an enlightened Buddha, how we were considering him. So yes, so I spent my days in meditation then, hours and hours sitting, and it was good because I went through again my cleaning techniques, which I used to do in 1987. It was working nicely because of the natural environment, and I was continuing this practice even at night in the house where we were living, or later in the tent. And so our activity, and it kind of departed from Andy and me, but I didn't want to turn back and go away. Actually, I did feel, many devotees know this, did feel this energy of Guruji, and I did feel that that is my place. But probably anyone feels the same, but everyone feels it like special for himself or herself. This is the magic, this is the magical spell which finally created so many problems, not just to me, but many others. Because I didn't want to go away anymore from there. It was my place I was looking for all my life. natural environment, silence, the birds competing with singing at night and during the day, many animals, deer, we had sounds of tigers, elephants. So I loved Halkoria. Everyone knows Marīci loves Halkoria. But they didn't love me. I was very strange for them, maybe because I stopped to be social. I was not too social in the beginning, but the introducing time I was chatting with these Tamang children and Guruji's brothers and sisters, which were very nice to me. I never complained because they were always very nice to me. Shyamji, Manu was a little distrusting, kind of suspicious. Her face was not very kind to me, but I think it's not because of her, it's because of Andy's influence. But Shyam, Ganga, even Guruji's mother sometimes arrived. They were very nice people and behaving very nice to me. And then when I saw that I am not welcomed, like to work on the translations by Andy, and not too much by Kempo either. Then became nervous. They were trying to put me down, to push me down, and so yes, there were these kind of tensions. But still, we were in the holy place, and we thought that this is a guru, this is a Buddha. I even cried a few times, but you know, people, there is this saying that near a guru all the karma is going to burn out quicker, blah blah blah. So there are always justifications of so-called spiritual people to explain why negative behavior is needed. But for me it was very disappointing, I must say. So I focused on my meditation. There was an interesting element when I arrived with Andy, because she had been there already before. Then she went to Kathmandu, picked me up and arrived again. And she told on the way, don't worry, you will meet Guruji daily. He is coming practically every day to give us some blessing, and you will not miss him. Because I was afraid that my visa could run out, the 3 months visa, and I would maybe end up not meeting Guruji even at once. And it looked like that, because when I arrived, one day passing, next day passing, 1 week passing, and Guruji not coming. So it was strange. Now I understand that my person was for him something unusual. What either he didn't know what to do with this arrival, and maybe he was preparing himself mentally and physically for the tortures of me. Maybe, I suppose, if he is led by some kind of beings, dark or light, they had been preparing him that such a person will arrive, and she will look like that, or her name will be like that, just I imagine. And so this person you are going to torture, and slowly you have to do her bad, and slowly you have to gossip her. I don't know, I'm just guessing, because the fact is that he didn't smile at me from maybe the first moment. Though other people claimed me that he smiled, actually what happened, I'm very shy. The other foreigners are not so shy, but I had too big respect to this guru. So I actually, when I came for blessing, I didn't even look into his eyes. For me to look into his eyes was like, I cannot, because he is a god and I am just a human being. I was very humble. So all the time I had this not to look at him, because I am so low. I had sexual relationships. I was kind of defiled by worldly life. Of course, I also ate meat before, like most Europeans. So I didn't feel like I have the right to even look into his eyes. So obviously I actually never knew how Guruji looks like. These foreigners were telling me he's beautiful, his eyes are glowing. I didn't know, because I just bowed my head and I never looked at him. And you can see in the videos, for example, Paulo Bignardi's video Foreigners in Meditation in Hall Korea. It was done in 2011 after the Maha darshan. You can see in this video that I am sitting in the back row and sitting in deep meditation. And actually this was the usual situation. The foreigners all push themselves in the front row, because there is this nice Nepali tradition that the guests have to have the front rows and the best seats. This like out of respect. But I always refused it, and I always wanted to be the last one. Maybe this is the effect of Christianity, because I was a nun also when I was young. This kind of humble modesty. I didn't want to push myself in front of these poor Nepalis, because I thought, why should I be better than the Nepalis? So I went right to the right, the last rows, always. And so this was my activity during blessing programs: shy, back rows, not looking at, not speaking, nothing. And when there was no blessing program, then meditating alone hours and hours in the riverbed, far from Guruji. So many people saw this. Ivy Jugua also saw this. Kim also saw this. Mike the monk, Mike Leon also saw this. Nick Sherman, Kempo, Andy. All of these people knew me. They knew my everyday behavior. And still, they were ready to accuse me of amazing things, like I was supposed to come to this Buddha boy at night, and I think they say I had to attack him, I had to do witchcraft, which is the really funny thing, and then I had to do magician, sorcery or what, which is called Masani in Nepali. I heard it from my Simra friends. That was later, but already this time they might have not liked me, because I was serious. I didn't come there to make entertainment, and it is a well-known fact that when we start to make progress in meditation, then obstacles arrive out of nowhere. Even one Lama told me that, look, Marīci, your meditation is simply just too strong, too good. And in this jungle, these people had been possessed by demons to harm you, because the demons were not happy with your meditation, obviously. But you know, people, that would be all okay if I was the only meditating person in Hall Korea, but what about this Buddha boy? He didn't help me. He didn't purify the air from demons, or why he didn't support me. I was also looking for the same aim. But soon I had to learn that it was never his plan to actually help other meditators. He didn't like other meditators. Before me, there were some other people coming there. There was Gyan Sagar Guru, a famous Lama. I think he is a Rinpoche even now. He implemented vegetarianism into a few monasteries, because it is well known that Buddhist monasteries eat meat the people there eat meat, and it is not Buddha's teaching, of course, to kill animals. And this Gyansagar Guru was vegetarian, and he came to serve Dharma Sangha the same way I came. But Dharma Sangha was not nice to him. He tolerated him in the beginning because he saw that he could use his knowledge for something, for writing his book or something. But I heard that very soon Gyansagar Guru had to leave. Actually, it was after the Gadimai, when Dharma Sangha didn't show up at the Gadimai, and this Gyansagar Guru sent all his lamas to the Gadimai to protest. But the main person, the main protester, Dharma Sangha didn't show up. I know the reason, but for that lama, in that condition, that situation, it was a kind of offense, and so he left Guruji. There were arguments described to me by people, loud arguments between Guruji and Gyansagar Guru. And so there were many similar meditator people who just arrived, and Dharma Sangha couldn't bear their presence. That's very strange, no? Because I always thought that if I am on the path, I had met some other meditators in my life, and it was always an amazing meeting. We couldn't sleep, we had to chat 24 or 48 hours to speak about our experiences with God, with inner experiences, spiritual experiences. But with Dharma Sangha, I felt the opposite, that he was not happy to meet a woman who is also a meditator. I was not a holy person. I already lived a samsaric life, which I needed to live, and obviously a samsaric worldly life kind of defiles the body and the soul and the mind, makes us weak. But come on, what about the other people? They were not sinners. They all had relationships, some of them extramarital relationships, some of them ate meat and still stayed in Halkoria, some of them were drug dealers, and he didn't mind them, but he once, at one occasion, he told that Marīci is a very big sinner, or Marīci is a fallen soul, and Marīci is a witch, and Bigrego, it means fallen. That's okay, I never claimed I was a holy person. I want to be a holy person, and I was a holy person like many of us. We are humans, we do mistakes, we fall down, then we fly up again and we fall down. But the importance is what is our aim, the direction. And my direction is and was and always will be up to God. So Dharma Sangha didn't arrive, and when he started to come, then I also didn't feel he would jump to the air from the happiness that Maitriya arrived from Europe to meet him. Already that time must have been something in the air, because Auntie was on her way back to Japan, and she already few times went to Kathmandu, and at one such occasion when she left for Kathmandu and I was alone in the tent, I was in a big danger at night, but from a wild animal. But after 6 hours of 6 hours of waiting if I will die or not, quite a long time, 6 hours. Of course, I tried to meditate and to be absolutely thoughtless and fearless, but it was not so easy. After this, I vowed to. I told God, if you now give me life, I will not speak. I will keep a mauna. And I was saved. I survived. After this experience, it was during the night, I really requested Khenpo that I can keep mauna, which is a spiritual practice of not speaking. There are yogis in India, in Nepal, which don't speak all life, or which don't speak tens of years. And we used to do this practice in yoga camps for days. It's a very fortifying exercise actually, because by speech we lose a lot of mental energy and unnecessarily entangle in relationships and conflicts. So I decided to not to speak just because my life was saved. But Khenpo Sunam Gyurme didn't allow me this. And then I was shocked, because he was supposed to be a Tibetan Lama who should be happy when someone wants to do spiritual practice. But he was jealous even of my meditation. He told, I also would like to meditate, Marīci, but I cannot afford it. Okay, I don't want to criticize Khenpo's way because it's his own